change the meaning of your challenges, it will ultimately change the result. That's one thing I learned, because I went through some rough patches along the way in my journey, and it wasn't until I actually changed the whole meaning. And when I started to see those adversities and those challenges and tribulations as an opportunity to grow, that's when everything else changed around me. You see, look at it this way. If I've just been fired from a job, and I've struggled to find another job, I've been rejected from every other job I've applied for, I can sit there and feel defeated, or I can write down what has happened. I can write down the circumstance and then change the meaning. So for instance, when I'd lost my job and I couldn't find a job, I wrote down on a piece of paper what was going on, and I wrote down I can't find a job, right? And I had to give that meaning. So when I say give it meaning, what does that mean to you? I could have sat there and wrote, oh, no one wants to hire me. But what I did at that point in time, I wrote on that piece of paper, I'm too expensive for people to pay me. And then 2 months later, boom, open up my own business. So whatever meaning you're giving your challenges is what will appear in your outer world.
So how exactly did you start your business?
Oh, I had a vision. I think it's very important that in the midst of adversities, you have a vision. Like Jyra was saying, she saw herself in the future. And when you see yourself in the future, what's happening now will make you laugh. Because you know where you're headed, you know where the end goal is. If you see yourself running a business, a multi-million business in the future, what you're going through right now won't matter to you. You'll laugh through it. And that's why it's important to rejoice, always rejoice. Because if you have a vision in your head and that becomes your reality, the outer world must always reflect your inner world. So I think it's about remaining faithful to your vision. So when I was dealing with some family stuff, I had to see my family as restored. And that's what sort of kept me going. You've got to live in the end. You've got to live like your vision has been accomplished already.
I would just like to say my advice would be, imagine your future and just say no to everything that doesn't fit to it.
100%. No, you're saying something there, because you have to deny what's going on right now. You have to deny it. For example, you may be in debt, but if you see yourself, if you have a vision of yourself being rich, you've got to deny what's happening in your reality. Because the power's within you. It really is. And because before I used to blame my family members, I used to be like, if he would stop acting this way, then everything will be fine. But no, I've got to change the meaning. It's about me. Everything that's happening in your life right now is for you. Nothing is a coincidence. The more knowledge you have and the more you apply it, the more you grow. You have to grow. And you know, I know a lot of young people get kicked out of home sometimes, and if you change the meaning of that. If you're getting kicked out of home, it's not your level anymore. You're growing way too fast. It's not your level, and you've got to change the meaning. It's all about growth. I think once you change the meaning, that's when you're able to rejoice. Because if your meaning is something that makes you feel defeated, you're gonna feel defeated. Because the thing about emotions is that emotions only occur depending on the information you feed your subconscious, right? So if you tell your subconscious that you haven't been hired from a job because you're not good enough, that's when your emotions spark up, right? Then you feel you're not good enough, you feel sad and all this stuff. But if you've been kicked out of home and you tell yourself that this is not my level anymore, I've got to grow, it will change everything for you. You'll be hungry for more challenges and you will blossom. You know, if your perspective on life is positive, everything else will change. Would you like to add anything else, Jyra?
I think that's all. You've pretty much explained it.
Alright. Well, thank you everyone. And once again, your host, Sizol Fuyana.